Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Live Fully Now podcast with me, your host, Shannon Ryan. This is a place where we discover how to go from merely surviving to really stepping into a place of thriving and living in alignment with our fullest potential and our big why as to why our souls chose to come here in this lifetime, in this timeline, how we are meant to serve the collective for the highest and greatest good of all beings. I am so excited to be here with you guys today and to really share this beautiful conversation, which is going to surround all around taking risks and why getting uncomfortable is really necessary to step into our fullest potential and to grow, to expand, to change. And I am so excited to share this with you today. For those of you who are listening only on audio, I want you to know that beautiful video options are also available on my YouTube channel and on Spotify. So if that calls to you and you want to see some fabulous fashion and get a vibe for who I am in the flesh, be sure to check out my YouTube channel. Also, if this is a space that you are enjoying, if you feel like this podcast is adding value or inspiring you in any way, shape, or form, please do leave a review or some feedback or share this with your friends, your family, anyone who you feel it would resonate with, because this is how we can boost the algorithm and I can still be here and vibing with you. So, thank you for being here today, for sharing your time, your space, your energy, and for being open with your mind and your heart and being willing to receive in whichever way, shape, or form this resonates with you today. So, without further ado, today's episode, I wanted to really talk about taking risks and getting out of our comfort zone because I truly feel that we cannot ever get to our fullest potential unless we're willing to get uncomfortable. I have learned this and seen this in my personal life over and over and over again. In fact, at the moment right now, I am currently navigating the feeling of getting uncomfortable, and it's scary. It's scary for me, even for as many times as I have been willing to get uncomfortable and take big risks towards the direction of my dreams. It still is difficult. It's still hard to navigate because I feel like our human beings, our vessels, our bodies, our nervous systems, we are wired towards going towards pleasure and away from pain, which ultimately means that we are going to really stay in situations and around people and in experiences, in jobs, whatever way this manifests, we are going to stay in situations that are comfortable, even if we are unfulfilled and unhappy, because it requires a certain amount of willpower, and of determination. And most people aren't really willing to go into this feeling of the discomfort because it's uncomfortable, it's painful, it's scary, it's all of those things. But I'm telling you that this is where the growth happens. This is where the magic happens. You have to be willing to step outside of that comfort in order to enter into a space of your next highest evolvement. And as I was saying, I am currently navigating this right now. A few weeks ago, I actually accepted a travel nurse job in New York City. And as excited as I am on one side of the coin, I'm also terrified because I'm leaving behind everything I know. I am leaving behind my family, my friends, my loved ones, my home, my safety. And it feels very jarring to my nervous system to be making all of these changes so quickly and to be stepping out of my comfort zone and my safety and moving across the country where I don't know where I'm going to live yet. And I don't know what the environment's like. I've never lived in New York. I've never lived in that type of city. I have no idea what is coming. And that unknown is scary. It is actually terrifying and brings me constantly into overwhelm and doubt and uncertainty and fear, to be honest. But at the same time, while I'm fearing that fear, I also feel excitement. And it is my belief that really fear and excitement are the same emotions, just dressed differently. I like to say that fear is just excitement dressed in drag. So, yeah, anything that you're afraid of really is just a calling and initiation for you to step closer to it, to step towards it, because it is something that your soul wants to know. It is something that your soul wants to experience, and it is going to be placed on your path for a reason, for your highest evolvement. It is also my full belief that things in our path, in our life, are happening for us, not to us, for our highest evolvement. And again, for me, this opportunity that came my way, I said no twice. I practiced my sacred boundaries saying no. And that felt really good. However, this opportunity just kept coming back 4 times in different ways, shapes, or forms. And finally, I had to sit back and listen and really evaluate, am I saying no to this for the right reasons? Or am I saying no to this because I'm scared? Or there's too much uncertainty and unknown? And ultimately, I said yes because there was just too many signs and synchronicities that and reasons why this kept coming back for me. It was a message from the universe like, this is what you need right here, right now, for your growth, for your highest evolvement. And so I decided to say yes. And of course, I still have so many things to figure out, and it's terrifying. It's scary to not know what's going to happen, or what my environment's going to be like, or what the job is going to be like, or how my dog is going to do, etc. But I know that this is what I need to do to grow and expand. I have to be willing to jump all in, to take that risk, even if it turns out to be something that isn't fulfilling, that I don't vibe with. I know that I'm going to come out on the other side a stronger, more well rounded human being that is going to have more information to go ahead in my journey from here. And if it turns out great, then awesome. We don't know. And I think that that's what holds a lot of us back, is the unknown. And my opinion of that is simply that there are so many different dimensions and realms that are simultaneously happening at the same time, right here and right now. And just because we can't see them with our physical eyes, it doesn't mean that they're not happening. And so really, for me, cultivating this deeper connection, and trust with the divine and with the gods and goddesses, even though I can't see them, I know in my being that I know them to be true and to exist. And that has brought me so much comfort, being able to trust and have faith and hope that this direction that I'm going in is ultimately where I need to go. And especially when you have so many different signs coming to you over and over again, it's like, hello, hello, listen, warning sign, caution, hello, listen. And I have done the non listening of my intuition and those signs so many times in the past, and I know where that leads. And that leads to immense pain and immense suffering and self sabotage, and really closing yourself off to the magic and the miracles of the universe. And I truly believe that once we surrender this control, and once we surrender the need to have our future look a certain way, we can really open ourselves up to receiving guidance and help from whatever source that you want to call that, whether it be God, source, universe, whatever guidance that is, your ancestors, your spirit guides. Because I believe in intentionality and in having a somewhat of an idea of what you desire, and really putting that out into the 5D, putting that out into the universe so that you can put out your intent and have it be received, because our intent is so powerful. Whatever we intend is actually going to happen. That is a universal law. Like attracts like. So if we are intending with our thoughts, with our emotions, with our feelings, with our words, for something negative to happen. And a lot of times this happens subconsciously, we're not even aware of it, but we're going to get back more of that. And same goes for positive intent. If we're really clear on our mission, our vision, our purpose, our values, what we want to manifest in this reality, in this lifetime, the universe will continue to show up for us and give us back more things that are in that same resonance and that same vibration and frequency. So, really getting clear on what our intent is, but also being able to surrender the control around exactly what that looks like. Because the reality is I believe that the universe has a much more beautiful, more grand idea of what that looks like at the end of it all. So we can think with our human minds what we desire, but the truth is when we relinquish the control and allow the guidance of the universe, we will actually manifest a more beautiful reality than one that we could even ever imagine. And I truly believe that the universe knows what our souls came here to do, and we need to ask for help. We need to connect with our higher helpers. We need to connect with our guides, our ancestors, and ask for guidance, because a lot of times our human minds and our egos get in the way of what we want. And we think we know what we want sometimes, but the truth is we really don't. And I trust that the universe does know what my soul came here to do, what my unique medicine, magic, and gifts are, and how I can use my vessel, my soul, my heart in this lifetime to serve the collective for the highest and greatest good of all. And again, I might not know what that is intellectually in my human mind. So I am fully open and ready to receive the guidance of higher powers and sources. So yeah, I just want to continue to cement in you that we need to get out of the comfort zone. We need to get uncomfortable. We need to be willing to take risks. We need to be willing to do things before we feel ready, because the truth is that most of the time we are never going to be ready. We're never going to be ready until it happens. Like, you can talk to a million parents, and the reality of having a child is that you are never going to be ready to be a mom or a dad until that day comes where you have to do it and you have to step into that new role. And ultimately what ends up happening is you become ready by learning, by the process of failing and succeeding and learning new tips and tricks and practicing. You can't know what you're ready for until you have to be ready for it. And so many of us sit on the sidelines of our lives and simply just let life pass us by because we're afraid. Because we're afraid of this unknown, we're afraid of uncertainty, we're afraid of what if I fail. And the reality is like, what if you succeed? What if you fly? What if you just stepped into your divine assignment, your fullest potential, your purpose, and you can truly live a life full of meaning? I truly believe that all of us are searching for meaning, for community, for purpose. And most of us, sadly, are going through life directionless, feeling lost, feeling uncertain, not sure what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to be. And a lot of us are super unfulfilled, doing jobs we hate, literally being robots through our lives, not being in the driver's seat of our lives. We're letting other people direct our cars. We're letting them sit in the driver's seat and choose the direction that we're going. And that is part of my mission and my vision, to help people remember their power, to help people remember that they are the only ones who know what their souls came here to do. They are the only ones who know what their dreams are and what a successful, beautiful, fulfilled life looks to them. And each of us are so different and unique. And there was never meant to have any of us fit into a box. We were never supposed to do things in a linear way that everyone in the society did the same way. We're taught in the systems of schools and jobs and all of these things that we have to fit into this box and do things a certain way. But the truth is, again, we are so, so different. And one size does not fit all. And we were meant to live life on our own terms, in our own way, in a way that lights us up. and in a way where we can follow the true north of our soul and our heart's wisdom and silent whispers and fully live a life of fulfillment. And again, this really, really takes some courage. It takes immense courage and bravery and strength to step off the beaten path and create a new way. It takes immense strength and courage to step out of your comfort zone, to do things that are scary, and to take big risks when you don't know what the ultimate reward might be. But I'm telling you that just on the other side of your fear is where your dreams are going to be alive. Just on the other side of your fear is where you are going to live a life in your fullest expression and be truly in your service, in your joy, in a state of bliss and connection and abundance. Because if we just sit on the sidelines of our lives and we aren't willing to get uncomfortable, we are going to live mediocre, average lives. And I don't think any of us really want that. But we're too afraid, we're too scared to try something new. Why is that? We need to get radically honest with ourselves and understand why we're so afraid of this. Is it because we don't feel worthy? Is it our because our views of ourselves, our identities are too wrapped up in the different hats we wear? Like, are you too identified with being a nurse or a mother, etc.? So, getting really clear on what that looks like for you and really being able to take that big step in the direction of your dreams, because we cannot live extraordinary lives unless we are willing to get out of our comfort zone and take risks and jump boldly into the unknown. Yes, it's scary, but I guarantee you, once you do it, you are going to feel alive. Once you get on the other side of your fear, you're going to realize that it wasn't actually that hard or scary, and you're going to feel so much stronger, and you're going to feel so much more powerful, and you're going to be so much more resilient and so much more open and so much more capable of having specific coping mechanisms and skills. And you're going to grow, you're going to change, you're going to evolve. You are going to become a more well-rounded person and human being. I believe that we truly learn, grow, and change by failure. And that's what taking risks is. That's what getting out of our comfort zone is. A lot of times we take these risks and we fail. But guess what? Failure is just a one of the stepping stones to success. I don't believe that failure is failure. I think it's just learning and growing, and it's a space for us to learn and pivot and make different choices, which ultimately gets us closer to our goals, to our dreams. We can't get closer to our goals and our dreams without being willing to fail and also not giving up if we fail. A lot of people, they try something new, they fail, and they give up and they say, oh, I couldn't do that, that wasn't for me. And it's like, no, no, no. How many times did Einstein fail? How many times did these great masterminds and movers and shakers and change makers fail before they were successful? So many, thousands of times. And that breeds within you that determination, that grit, that perseverance, that unshakable trust and faith and unfuckwithableness. Like, I am going to keep going until I get it right. And the more times you fail, the more okay with it you are. And you just see it again as a learning process and as a part of the journey. We're so hard on ourselves and so critical of ourselves. And I really invite you to look at your failures as a success and give yourself a pat on the back and celebrate yourself for being willing to take chances and take risks and to jump into the deep end before you were ready. Because we don't want to sit on the sidelines again of our lives forever, waiting for the right time. Because what happens then? we just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and our entire life passes us by, and we will never actually take that risk or make that change to get to the other side. We will be paralyzed by indecision. We will be paralyzed by the comfort zone and by disassociating with our true feelings and emotions and intuition and just going through the motions. And then we'll get to the end of our lives and be in regret that we didn't fully live our lives, that we didn't do that thing that was on our list, that we didn't take that risk, take that flight, make that memory. Like, what are those things in your soul, in your heart, that you feel called to do, to share, to teach in the world? Maybe you want to try flying a plane. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to ride your bike around all the countries. I don't know. Whatever it is, listen to that, because following the breadcrumbs of your joy and your excitement is truly how we find what our purpose here is, what our mission is, and how we can serve the collective. And the more we say yes to those breadcrumbs of joy and excitement, the closer we get to our dreams and to our highest evolvement and our highest self, being of service. And again, just getting really okay with doing things before you're ready, because we're never going to be ready. And risk taking is a skill that the universe actually adores and loves. And oftentimes, when we are willing to take big risks in the direction of our dreams, we are rewarded by the universe. Also, the universe likes to put a lot of obstacles and initiations along the path that might block us, and for some people, might cause them to give up. But for those who have that grit, that determination, that don't take no as an answer, that refuse to give up, even with all of those obstacles along the way, those are the people that are rewarded at the end, because the universe wants to see how committed you are to your dreams and how unwilling you are to give up and how uncomfortable you're willing to get in order to get to the other side of your joy, your fulfillment, and your dharma. So again, my invitation is to you to take risks, to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone, and to really, really get clear on what your heart's desires are and ask for them. Put your intent out into the universe and see what happens, and be okay with being scared and doing it anyway, because fear simply is just excitement in a beautiful rainbow costume. So go in the direction of your dreams, go in the direction of your fears, and I promise you that once you get on the other side, it will not be as scary as you thought it would be. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your space, your energy with me today. And if you want to connect deeper or have more connections or conversations, I would absolutely love that. You can connect with me. I'll have all of my information listed in the show notes. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week. And I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and keep shining your light. Keep sharing your smiles, keep connecting with strangers, and creating that beautiful ripple effect out into the collective, because I truly believe that the more work we do on healing ourselves and showing up from our heart space, the more this can ripple out and create massive impact and change into the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, beautiful.